At the moment when I'm recording this video, for 3 weeks our life in Russia hasn't been the same. I'm a person who was never interested in politics. I'm a girl with a Russian passport, but a global citizen in my heart. I lived, worked and studied beyond Russia, and most of my friends are from abroad, so I'm really not into dirty political games. I'm into personal, international friendships. The most frequently asked question to me now is, why don't you speak up? Or why I didn't speak up for the last 8 years? Actually, I did. After traveling to 20 countries and living abroad, I started to explore my country, Russia, and all our cultural diversity and heritage. I showed you one of the most far away and off the beaten path places in Russia, and I tried to introduce you to different nationalities, as we have more than 195 of them peacefully living together. I tried to understand each culture and to introduce it to you. So my channel isn't about politics, it's about breaking barriers and showing you the real people and the real life. It's March 15th, it's been 3 weeks and I'm kind of used to the new reality. Well, you can't really get used to it, you adapt every day. And today I want to show you how life changed in Russia after sanctions and to answer your most frequently asked questions. For the record, I'm not making this video to make you feel pity about Russians under sanctions or to complain, but simply because I continue to share my experiences and to show the life around me. By the way, this is not my car. I'm using one of the car sharing services in Moscow. We have a lot of them here. During my expedition to the far north of Russia, which I made for 3 months during winter, I hurt my leg like really bad. I still cannot walk normally, so now I drive a lot. And now we're going to the city center and I will be showing you around and answering your questions. This is how the car looks like. I think it's just fine. I took the cheapest one, but you can take and choose any cars that you want. From the latest news, Instagram was banned yesterday in Russia completely. Now we cannot access Instagram because Meta allowed violent speech against Russians, Russian military and presidents of Russia and Belarus. So Instagram was considered an extremist organization in Russia. But here it is. I just downloaded VPN and I'm using Instagram just as usual as all the Russians. Also, we lost TikTok and Facebook here in Russia. You cannot download any videos on TikTok from Russia, but again, Russians found a way and we're doing it using our browser. So we always find a way and we still have all these social networks.
Подозрительно мудрые для молодых. Шире некуда улыбка на лице, ни одного человека на улице, и горизонт возбужденно порозовел, а я замерз, судя по всему, протрезвел, и тишина лишь деревья не шумят, иду по городу я.
Well, now we are going to the biggest shopping mall in Russia. It's also the biggest one in Europe. It's named Aviapark. And we're gonna see which brands are still there, which companies left. By the way, amongst all the negativity and the bad news, today we have one good news. All the masks, including in the buildings inside, were cancelled. Now I will be able to go inside the shopping mall without a mask. Seems like everyone forgot about coronavirus. Like, no one cares about it anymore. Just look how huge it is. It starts there and it goes all the way till here. So I entered the mall. The first thing that I see is that Starbucks is closed. No more posh coffee for us anymore. Auchan still works. It's a French store, I believe, and it's a very popular supermarket, one of the cheapest ones in Russia as well. How do I enter? Here we go. Let's see how prices changed for food after sanctions. Well, there's still some very cheap milk, but I remember these brands, for example, to be much cheaper. Milk for almost 100 rubles. No. 132. Some cottage cheese, which is very popular in Russia. And I remember this one to cost around 90 rubles before. And overall, I would say that prices are higher now. What? Almost 500 rubles for a cottage cheese. This was about 70, I think. The cheapest apples that I found are almost 100 rubles, and before I could find for 50 or 60, I believe. Yeah, the cheapest one costs like this. Costs for bread, different types of it. I wanted to show you like the most popular porridge in Russia, but we ran out of it. For some reason, when there is some apocalypse like the pandemic before or this situation, Russians start to buy grechka, the banquet porridge. It's the first product to become very expensive, the first one for people to buy so much of it. So seems like, yeah, people do panic because there is no grechka. There are so many types of it, but none of it left here. These are the cheapest noodles in Russia, the shirak. Seems like soon all of us are gonna start eating this. We joke that it's a food for poor students, but now it's gonna be food for all of us. Yes, buy more of it. The Italian pasta also became super expensive and seems like it's gonna finish soon. Ice cream, I believe that prices are almost the same as almost all the ice cream that I see are of the national production. They are made in Russia. These are pelmeni, the Russian traditional dumplings. The costs, they vary from like 200 rubles till 500. Oh, you can also find for 189. These are all pelmeni, as you can see, very popular here. If Lace leaves Russia, we have Russkaya kartoshka, which means Russian potato. We have these chips, or Moscow potato. Never tried it, by the way. Coca-Cola also promised to leave Russia. I guess this is the last portion of it. But we have cola. I guess it's something like fake Coca-Cola. It says cola. Or we have Duchesse instead of cola. It's the sparkling lemonade with pear. Or Tarhun, the famous Caucasus drink with estragon. How do you like this? Well, some products became like super expensive. For others, I don't feel a huge difference. I guess that imported ones, international ones, became much more expensive. But you can compare these prices with the one in the video which I made back in 2020 about prices for living costs, renting an apartment, food, transportation in Moscow versus in small cities of Russia. I will leave the link for that video below. Well, I just start walking around the mall, and as for now, everything looks just normal. All these brands still continue working. This one is French, I guess. Samsung. Rendezvous. I think it's Armenian. Okay, Mango is closed. No more Adidas for us. By the way, in Russia we say Adidas, not Adidas. This one is closed as well. I don't know how to read it in the right way. Tommy Hilfiger. Sephora is closed. I can see people there. And what are they gonna do with all these cosmetics left? It says that they are temporarily closed. I don't know which country these brands are from, but they still work. Let me know in the comments where these brands come from. They all work here. I'm now at the second floor of the mall. There are 4 of them, and many brands here are actually closed, like Bershka, and there is Zara that is also closed. And Stradivarius. I don't know which country's brand it is. All the H&M stores also stopped working. It says that they stopped selling for an unknown time. They're still gonna pay rent for this place, you know? I wonder what they're gonna do. Here you can see some brands that still work, and this one already stopped working. I'm surprised to see Nike still works here. This one also still works, it's not closed yet. Decathlon, the only store that I care about because all my clothes are from there. Okay, it also works. Adidas is closed. And some other brands that still work. And IKEA is closed all over Russia. It was big news here about it closing. And I have to admit, I never ever in my life visited any IKEA stores. Seems like I never will. On the 4th floor of the mall there is a food court. Everyone was shocked by McDonald's leaving Russia. More than 800 stores closed. KFC closed as well. Well, I guess we're gonna become a bit healthier. Oh, look, they're having some team meeting. I guess they're closing the store now. By the way, there are so many jokes right now on the internet that you can buy the shark toy from IKEA, the famous toy, for 1 million rubles or for 2 million rubles, that they sell the Big Tasty or other burgers from McDonald's for ridiculously high prices as well. Well, if they're closed, let me introduce you to a Russian fast food. It's Крошка картошка, which means little potato. And I think that Крошка картошка is so happy because they don't have McDonald's rival anymore. Another Russian fast food which has like traditional Russian dishes in a fast food format is теремок. I guess it's like the healthier version of fast food. Here you find pancakes with different stuffings, soups, porridges, the grechka I told you about. But it's made super fast. My blin is being made. So you can take such pancakes, sweet or savory. I chose the one with cheese, and you can also take them for takeaway. Well, you've seen that many international companies stopped working in Russia, but I can't really care about some, like not being able to buy some brands when such things happen in the world. But what bothers me is how many people are gonna lose their jobs, because it's not only this actual store where people worked inside that are gonna lose their jobs, but also the delivery man, for example, the marketing team, management team, everyone. So many people are losing their jobs, whereas the prices for food and everything are becoming higher. I myself also lost all my income from YouTube because now it's impossible to transfer money to Russia. And even though I have my student Italian bank card, I can't link it to YouTube because I pay taxes in Russia. I can't buy the lenses for my camera now because they just finished in Russia. There are no lenses for my camera anymore, and even though there was, I wouldn't be able to buy it because it's now 3 times more expensive. I wanted to buy a drone because I lost mine, but now I can't afford it. But those are just small problems that I will be able to resolve in the future, I hope. The most important thing, I hope that peace will return. Now there will be many traffic jams, so I've decided to go back by metro. This is the park, the riverbank, where I come almost every morning for running or to have a walk, kind of my calm place where I can reflect and think about things. From here I'm gonna answer your questions. Why don't you show Russia's dark side? I think this person meant why I mainly focus on my positive travel experiences in Russia. Well, I'm not trying to show you some perfect country. I'm not trying to find only some perfect positive angles. I'm just showing you the things that I see around, and I share my experiences. And maybe I just happen to be a person who tries to focus on positive things. When you watch a vlog, any vlog, it can never be objective experience. Every person reacts to the same situation differently, and maybe I just like to focus on positive things. That's why my vlogs are like this. Maybe I could go to the dirtiest, to the poorest cities of Russia and show you how bad the country is, and talk about alcoholism or many other problems that Russia has. But just in my life, I do what I love to do, and I show you my experience. Actually, once I made a video about the worst neighborhoods in Moscow, but after that I realized that it's just not for me. I went to the worst neighborhoods, which actually I've never visited before. I only went there to make a video, and I realized that this format is not for me. Even when I was in Italy during pandemic and it was a red zone, we had to wear masks even in the streets. I couldn't go anywhere. It was like the worst experience of studying abroad probably, but still, if you watch my vlogs from Italy, you will see how I had fun with my Italian neighbors, like making pizza or hanging out with my international friends. So probably I'm just a person who focuses on good things, and I show you my personal experiences. I'm not trying to show you some perfect angles. Another one. Your channel is a propaganda to improve Russia's image, basically because I've been to the Kremlin. Yeah, people comment a lot about this video where I went to the Kremlin and say that because I was there, it means that I'm some conspirator of Putin's, or I'm his daughter or secret wife, secret mistress, I don't know. And this all just sounds so funny, because when these people tell me that I'm brainwashed by my government, I wonder how brainwashed they should be by their government when they believe that all the people in Russia are somehow connected to Putin, or that they are all in some conspiracy. They have such an outdated image of Russia and some stereotypes from the Cold War, when I believe they watched a lot of such things about Russia on TV, that everyone here is some KGB agent and so into politics, when in reality so many people just are not into politics. But believe it or not, any person can visit the Kremlin as a visitor, as a tourist. In the Kremlin there are many events like the Christmas tree for children, or many events for students, and also the ballet. And yes, you can buy a ticket to the ballet. By the way, you can find some really cheap ones. Mine was about 1000 rubles. So yes, you can visit the Kremlin. And by the way, I wish my channel was sponsored by the government and I can finally buy the drone. It's becoming a bit chilly here. Another frequent question: will I try to escape Russia? Now everywhere the first topic of discussions is, are you staying or moving? Everyone asks me and each other this question, and I see a lot of people panicking, spontaneously applying for some visas, leaving to Turkey or Armenia, and I've decided to share my decision as well. Not for you to approve or disapprove it, but simply to clear this up for myself, and probably to listen to this when I'm in the moments of doubts. I've decided to stay in Russia. First of all, because I've been to many countries. I've been to 20 countries, lived in 4 parts of the world, and I know that, you can't escape all your problems and move to the perfect paradise. Anywhere you go, you will find things that irritate you or that were better back in your country. You just can't find a perfect paradise, and everywhere in the world now isn't calm. And I want to go abroad when I want to travel, not for evacuation. Secondly, now it's very hard not only to leave Russia but also to go back. And I don't think that I will feel calmer abroad when I know that all my family is here and I have to support my parents. Both of them are retired, they don't work, and it's difficult to transfer money to Russia now, and it will be calmer for me when I'm here for now. There is a saying now that all the pessimists have already left or are leaving the country and only optimists stay. Well, probably I'm an optimist or just a naive girl who hopes that everything sooner or later is gonna be alright. The last question is, will I continue to make travel vlogs? I'm staying and I'm continuing. My channel is about sharing my passion to discover different places to travel and to discover different cultures. And I will continue doing that. I know that during this difficult time, any content that I will publish will be perceived very sensitively, and those who don't want to watch like regular videos where I share my life, I just suggest not watching. But for those who would like to see the videos from Russia, recently I made an expedition to the far north of Russia and visited the most remoted, far away, off the beaten path places in Russia, which I'm gonna start sharing from the next week. I suggest to subscribe so that you don't miss them. And I hope that you're watching from a safe, warm place, and see you in my next vlogs.